Hi, my name is Chi Dates with the Dates Group. The Dates Group is a business consulting and funding development firm, and we specialize in helping startups, brand new businesses, in their first 2 to 3 years of development. We do help established firms as organizations as well, especially as they regroup or maybe just shift in their directions. We're a really good source for them as well. But we do have our passion in the new business owner and helping guide them along the way, making it easier. It's definitely it's exciting to start a new business, but that excitement can turn sour if you are not knowledgeable or positioned to do and actually make that dream come true and make those ideas happen. So that's where we come in. We help form you, we help develop you, and we help hopefully get you the funding that it takes to sustain any business. So I want to talk a little bit about the five most important steps that we believe are kind of key best practices for making sure that your business is able to grow and sustain itself. So, those five best practices would be number one, to actually plan to succeed. So we'll talk about that. The first step is plan to succeed. There's no possible way to actually have a lasting, consistent success without a plan to succeed. So we'll talk about that. The second best practice is to grow organically. Contrary to popular belief, fast is not always the most the best answer. Fast is not always the best answer. Getting there very quickly may mean that you also get out of there very quickly and do not sustain. So we want to talk about growing organically. The third best practice is building just immediately. As soon as possible, building credit and building cash and getting that cash flow started as quickly as possible. And the fourth best practice is knowing your numbers, just really being able to understand your own budget, your own forecast, your financial need, your funding need, and how you will utilize that, what you're going to do with those funds. Being able to kind of recite that all the time so that when you are in position with investors or banks or anyone that could help provide that funding for you, that it is not the first time that you've thought about this, and that you actually know where you're driving to and what you need that for. The fifth best practice is managing risk. So you've got plan to succeed, grow organically, build credit and cash immediately, and manage risk. So let's start off with planning to succeed. There are many people who might think that they don't need a business plan because they don't, they just have a little business. They don't have any great need. They're just going to function in this space and whatever. And if you don't have a business plan and, sometimes you may be able to hang in there and have some type of business that can hold on and be okay. The reason why you want to plan to succeed, though, and I've seen it uh, too many times to count, where you have all these mishaps, these shifts that you have to make, not understanding why you're not able to get to the next level. And a lot of that reason is because you did not visualize what the steps were that you needed to get, to use, and what goal are you even trying to get to. So with a business plan, you are able to, some of the elements that are part of that business plan are your marketing strategy, understanding who you're marketing to, who your audience is, how you're going to market to them, who's your competition, what is the attributes of your competition. Okay, what is their pricing like? Let's say that you are a plumbing company, and you're a plumbing company in the south side of Chicago. Where are you getting your pricing from? Where are you getting your pricing from if you don't have a plan? Have you actually done the footwork to, talk to, kind of research some of the people that are already successful in the area in which you're going into? Get to find out a little bit about them. That's part of the business plan, is knowing how did they come up with, what is their pricing? How do they market? How many employees do they have? How are they, where are their supplies coming from? What are they paying for their supplies? All of that is incorporated in, if it's a proper business plan, all of that is part of it. The competition and comparing your what you're doing with at least 3 other companies, so that you can see their best practices, what's working for them, or where their gaps are, where you can outshine them or be competitive, and use that. So it helps you to kind of get a good grounding too on, again, especially what the pricing is in your industry in that area. So you don't want to undersell your, you don't want to underprice yourself. You want to make sure that you're being in line with your industry. So the marketing element is in there, and how much you want to actually spend. So which goes to the budget. You want to make sure that you have your budget clearly outlined in your business plan, not for show, but for real. So when you have someone who can actually really address your financial statements, you will have a proper budget that will really show you, this is all we can spend in this area. This percentage is what is proper for our industry, and based on all of our information, this would be the proper amount to spend towards our marketing. This would be the proper amount to spend towards supplies. This would be the proper amount to spend towards, for example, employees, etc., etc., but not willy-nilly. You'd actually know, okay, that's all I have to spend in that area if I'm going to be successful, because this is my goal. This is my profit amount that I want to make, and this is the only way we can get there. So you have to understand both your cost, you have to understand your pricing, your expenses, and all of that is part of your budget and what we call your pro forma profit and loss statement or forecast. So as a startup, you don't really have anything to rely on specifically for yourself. So you have to base it a little bit on industry specifics, and also, again, what you're capable of handling financially. So all of this is part of your financial plan, of your business plan, what your strategies are, who your team is, what their strengths are. Why would an investor feel comfortable believing in you without having seen you produce one dime of revenue? You have to tell that story. So a business plan serves to tell investors, you can trust us, you can believe in us, and here are the reasons why. So there's many elements to the business plan, but it does guide you. It does direct you. It keeps you on track. It keeps your team feeling more confident because they don't have to guess what's on your mind. they can see for themselves, this is our plan, this is our focus, this is where we're headed, and this is how we're doing it. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to have a business that's not only successful but last, is to make sure that you plan to succeed with a proper business plan. And by the way, when I say proper, there's many ways to do a business plan. I've seen templates out there where they'll have a one-page template where basically you're just doing a SWOT, analysis, and just looking at your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, etc. And it's a one-pager. If you're planning on using that business plan to secure any type of funding, you're going to need more than a SWOT. You're going to need financial statements. You're going to need comps. You're going to need to compare yourself with businesses in your industry. You're going to need to prove your team. You're going to need to explain why you need funding and exactly how much funding do you need. Where's that funding going to? What would we be able to trust will come from you having that funding? So there are different ways to look at business plans. The Dates Group does business plans that are aimed to secure funding. So our business plans are for investors, for banks, for you to use for any type of venture capitalists, equities, managers, etc. Any type of investors. So plan to succeed. Even if you do not want to secure extra funding, you still will be able to have a type of roadmap to keep you on the straight and narrow, not as stressed, trying to figure out, oh God, what happened? I thought I was doing this. You still need that business plan no matter what.